Good day. My name is Charles Duniales Villamar. And proceeding to the next problem, a loan was to be amortized by a group of four end-of-year payments. The initial payment was to be 5,350 pesos and will increase by 620 every year thereafter. But the loan was renegotiated to provide for a equal payment rather than uniformly varying sums. If the interest rate of the loan was 15% compounded annually, what is the annual payment? To solve this problem, first we need to identify what is the given, what is the formula that we need, and the cash flow diagram of the problem. So the given of the problem is our gradient, which is 620 pesos every year. Our rate, or R, which is equivalent to 15%, the M equivalent to 1 annually, and our I, which is equivalent to R over M, which is 0.15 over 1 or 0.15. Then our cash flow diagram. The initial payment, which is 5,350 pesos, and will increase 620 pesos every year. So the second year, it will increase by 620 pesos, and the third year will increase by 620 times 2, and so on. So to know what formula that we are going to use in this problem, we need to identify what type of gradient this problem is. By looking at the problem, or our gradient, which is a constant, which is 620, we can identify that this problem is a arithmetic gradient type of problem, because a geometric gradient problem, our gradient is equivalent to a percentage. So solving, our present worth is equivalent to the summation of y times 1 plus I to the power of x, which is our y is equivalent to a plus bx, since this type of problem is a arithmetic gradient problem. Now we need to find or to look for our a and b. So to do that, we need to use our calculator. Press mode, stat, and number 2 because it is a arithmetic problem. We start from 0 to 2 because the gradient is applied to the second year of the problem. And we input the values, which is 5,350 plus 620. And the third year is 5,350 plus 620 times 2. Now we press shift stat, regression, and A to identify the value of our A, and we store this value to a variable A. Then we do the same for the value of B. So our value for A is equivalent to 4,730, and for B is equivalent to negative 620. So to find our present worth, we need to substitute the values. The summation of A plus bx times 1 plus I, which is 0.15 to the power of x, from the lower limit, which is 0 to 4, and the upper limit, which is 0 to 1. So our present worth is equivalent to 17,621.72. But since the problem is looking for the annual payment, we need to find the annual payment using another formula, which is the present worth is equivalent to the annuity times the summation of I plus 1 to the power of x from the lower limit to the upper limit. And we can find the annuity from this problem by deriving the formula, which is the annuity is equivalent to the percent worth over the summation of 1 plus I to the power of x from the lower limit to the upper limit. Now for solving the annuity, we will substitute the values. The percent worth, which is 17,621.72 all over summation of 1 plus I, which is 0.51 of 15 the power of x from the lower limit, which is 0 minus 0 to 4 and 0 to 1. We then found our annuity, which is 6,172.28. Now this is our final answer.
Good day, and let me show to you my geometric gradient problem. So this is my problem. So I read it. A civil engineer is attempting to determine the current value of employee pay for the ensuing 4 years. Through the end of the year, the total salary of her 4 employees is 100,000. Assuming she will provide a 5% annual raise to each employee, find the present value of her employee's salary at a 14% annual interest rate. So first thing is magbuhat jud kag inani para ma-determine mo kung pila jud siya ka percent ang makuha. So, ngano na akong gikuha nila ang 1.05 is nag-calculate sa ko sa akong scientific calculator is 1 plus I, which is 1 plus 5% man ang atong annual raise. So, 1 plus 0.05. Ang total ana is kani 1.05. After that, mag-table ta. Kaning table. So, para mag-table ta para makuha nato ang A ug ang B. So, nag-calculate na ko ana, ang total score sa A is 9,238.09524. So, mo ni ang A. Ang B na sad is 0.9523809524. So, mao na ni siya. Mao na ni atong AB. So, unsaan na to pagkuha ang total amount jud niya. So, kani nga formula ang atong gina-use. So, mao na ni siya. P is equal to summation of 0, ang upper niya ay 0 minus 1, ang lower niya ay 0 minus 5. Ayan. Mao na ni siya, and then calculate din nato siya ang A, B to the power of x times 1 plus I x. So, ang 1 plus I nato is 1 plus 0.14 to the power of x. So, mao na ni siya. After ato, gi-calculate na sad nako sa scientific calculator ang total ani. Like, i-combine ni ang AB ani. So, ang combined score ani is 375 99.2772. So, muna ni ang answer. 37,599.2772. So, muna na ayang the present value sa iyang employee's salary. So, that's it and thank you.
Johnny makes 5 deposits that increase uniformly by 300 pesos every month in a saving account that earns 12% compounded monthly. If the initial deposit is 4,500 pesos, determine the accumulated amount in the account just after the last deposit. So we have the given here where A is the initial amount, G is the gradient, I is the interest rate, and N the number of periods. And this is our cash flow diagram. For our solution, let us solve for the total present worth. Note, increasing so positive. So, getting the value of the present amount, we have our formula here, and we just substitute the value into our formula to get the present amount. Next is getting the present gradient. So this is our formula, and again we just substitute the value into our formula to get the present gradient. So solving for the total present worth, we have this formula, and let's just substitute the value to get the present worth. So to get the accumulated amount after last deposit, we have our formula here, and we just substitute the value in this formula, and we get the final answer, which is 25,984.67. This will be our final total worth.